Hi guys, welcome to our next unit in science. In this unit, we're going to be studying Desert Rocks National Park and investigating how this place has changed over time. Within the park, this is Desert Rocks Canyon, one of the many canyons in the park. A canyon is a valley with steep sides made of rock. In this unit, we'll be investigating how rocks and fossils can tell us about the way Earth changes over time. So in the park, this is what was found. And by thinking about what this is and how it got there, it can give us some clues about what this place was like in the past. Now, we call this a fossil, and a fossil is a clue about life from the past that's preserved in rock. This fossil was found in what's called a rocky outcrop, which just means a section of exposed rock. So in this unit, we will be geologists and we'll be gathering information to think about what a place was like in the past. In order to do that, we need to know the difference between an observation and an inference. An observation is something that we can see, and an inference is a guess that we make based on what we can see. So if I'm looking at this picture, I can observe or see that it's a bird's nest. I see that there's a cracked open egg, I see that the egg is empty, and I don't see any birds. Now my inference would be, I'm guessing that the birds hatched and flew away. So an observation is something you can notice using any of the five senses, and an inference is something you figure out based on observations and information that you already know. For organisms to turn into fossils, they first need to be covered with sediment. There are many different kinds of sediment, and these are just a few. We have silt, gravel, and sand. In later lessons, we're going to figure out how being covered with sediment creates fossils. Now, this is our simulation or sim for this unit, and in your packet and on Google Classrooms, you should have the login so you can access this sim as well. So I'm going to go to this website, and I'm going to follow the instructions. So first, I need to press Add Organisms. Okay, so I see I have three different environments: upper river, floodplain, and beach. And I have organisms. That looks like some trees, some plants, and some sand dollars. Now I'm going to move time forward until a fossil forms. So I'm going to come up here to time past and click this once, and it's going to move forward 10,000 years. I'm seeing a lot of changes happening in these environments, but I don't see any fossils yet. Let me click this one more time, go another 10,000 years. Oh, look, these organisms turned into fossils. And I'm noticing there are no fossils in the upper river, but there are fossils formed in the floodplain and the beach. I think that might be because all of the sediment from the upper river moved to the floodplain and the beach. And I know that to form a fossil, it has to be covered by sediment. There wasn't enough sediment in the upper river to form any fossils. And you guys can feel free to play around more with that. Now I see a fossil here, and I know that this is some sort of plant, and I know that in order for a fossil to be created, it has to be covered in sediment. So my inference is that the plant died, was covered in sediment, the sediment then turned into rock, and the fossil formed. So we know that a fossil forms when an organism dies, covered with sediment, and then it turns into rocks. So I want you guys to read this book called Clues from the Past. This is printed out in your packet, and it's also uploaded on the Google Classroom. And I want you guys to make a T-chart and record observations on one side and inferences on the other. Remember that an observation is something that you can see or observe with your five senses, and an inference is a guess based on those observations. Good luck and happy working.